Okie dokie, welcome back to the stream. I'm going to continue with looking at this issue of the teleportation. It might be able to solve it at this point. I actually got the game title right. Oh, I know why it did, because I changed it. Yes, weird. Okie dokie. Okay, looks good. Alright, I'd really like to see if we can get something going on the teleportation today. But we'll see if we can. Never heard of you, buddy. I think we're going to start doing some blocks today as well. I don't know. I'm very tempted to start blocking because I can tell that it says, yeah, well, not yet. Not yet. Oh, that's cool, Neutron. Alright, I really would like to actually get focused on this, so let's rather than focusing on blocking people. Okay, we're going to remove some of these because I want to do a more serious thing today. Yeah? There we go. Okay, so we've got this new world. Let's do a similar thing that I've done before. We're going to go to 0, 0. And it's just easier for me to okay. So let's okay. So this guy, right? If I want to clone him, and we'll just take a look, see if he's there. So I can still spawn them. Interesting. So they do actually retain. Here's the thing, right? I just want to do something quickly. If we do a clone, sorry. We do a clone. This is Rose, right? I don't understand how the delete part of clone works. Yeah. Isn't there a way to just remove it from the world? Is it an NPC command? Wait. What is the commands for that then? Clone config. So there are some commands for NPC, right? I just had the commands there. Yeah, I don't know how that works, dude. It's right there, though. I really want to do. I don't want to do anything with the server if I can avoid it. I mean, can I spawn... If I remove this... There's another way to look at it. Can I then spawn rows here? Do clone... Spawn. So that isn't a command, right? So if I do this... Huh. Why is that? Does it have to be in the server one? Yeah, maybe that's maybe why it's not finding it. Unknown NPC, but we know it's there, right? Because I can see it. Yeah, this is what makes me think it's server side, because you have to do that, right? The fact that I can't spawn it is kind of not good. So it says in here it's only server side. So basically what it's saying is that even when I do press spawn here, it makes no sense though, because this is a client one though. It's difficult. It's going to be very difficult to find the answer, even if it does exist, because so many people are doing more complicated stuff than what I'm doing, and they're basically drowning out the answers that I need. Let's just go to the command set. Create. NPC create. Isn't that a command? Can you create from a... Wait a minute, what is this? Is this a thing? Man, struggling a bit today. It says that... I feel like not everything is listed properly. I did see something though that sounded interesting. Let's see what that is. Huh. Okay, so you have to put the name of it first. Okay. What happens if you do this? Doesn't look good, does it? No. Oh, you can't specify here. Do I want to do server side then? Maybe I do want to do server side. At least I'll be able to spawn them how I want, right? I don't even know what that means, to be honest, but let's put it in there. Because then, right, I'm pretty certain the other commands will work, right? Because if we look in here now, see this guy's there now. So what I could do is I could take this one. Server side tab, yes. So now we've got it there, right? So again, let's just remove everything here. The point is I want to be able to create these NPCs whenever I want. Because that way, it's very likely that an NPC, once you spawn it, is not going to despawn immediately. In fact, I don't think it would happen. There's only when you start doing commands with the NPCs that they start to disappear. I want to be able to create and delete them. Right. I've got it. Basically, what you do is you create the NPC with the clone command, but you delete it with the NPC command. Let me just type that in the chat so I remember. Create NPC with clone, delete with NPC command. Okay, just so I remember that. Okay. So now, so what do I say? Create NPC with clone. Okay, so now I should be able to create it with the clone command, right? So we do the clone. And she's tab 1. Right? And then I can delete. What did I say? Delete with NPC command. So if I want to delete the character, what was it? Let me just check the. I don't know why I can't see the. Delete is the term. It's not create. It's delete. I go NPC rows delete. That is the command. What? No, sorry. Oh. It worked. Spawn it. Delete it. Okay, perfect. Okay, so that's actually fixed then. Okay, it's actually quite a good start. I was actually not expecting it to go quite that well. But that is the way to do it, right? We need to put the NPCs into... I don't see what the point of putting them here then is. What is the point of having a client-side NPC? Yeah, that is a very, very good point. I don't know. I honestly don't know what the point of that is. Let me just see like what the point of that is. Because if you can't do anything with it, why would you have it? I guess you could just spawn it. Like if you wanted to have two people talking. Let me see if there's any reason for doing that. Client-side custom NPC. Client-side custom NPCs. I'm not sure. I'm generally not sure what the point of that is. Apart from that I can just spawn them when I will like. But there is no way to spawn them, right? Because I can't... Because the problem is, right? For some reason I'm not able to see the... I don't know what was going on with that. But I can look. I know what the commands are, right? Because I can see them on the dude's webpage, right? But I will move on from this because I have basically found the solution, so that's good. But I just don't know what the point of client side is. It doesn't seem like you can do much with client side, basically. It does seem that the server-sided clone and and you can, so for some reason there's a command to clone the NPC. Why would you do that into a different tab? What's the advantage of that? I just want to try another thing. We're going to try another one. We're going to try this one. Let's see if we can find a clone spawn from, you spawn it from the tab. So I won't be able to access that tab. Can I access a client side tab? I don't think so, right? We'll try and do a client side tab. Sorry, I know this probably doesn't make any sense to you what I'm saying, Neutron, but alright. Because I just don't understand what the point of having a client side tab is. So we've got Ankin, right? So is there a way we can spawn this character here? Because I'd like to just use only client side if I can, basically. But we'll see if I can. So we're basically at 2090. Well, that's fine, right? Doesn't really matter. I'm sure I'm slightly wrong. 290. Okay, so we use this. Let's just look at the command. So his name is Ankin. I don't think this is going to work. So let's just do and this guy's from tab 1. But again, I don't know where it's specifying it. The dimension is 0. And it's 290, whatever, right? We'll call them Ankin 2. Do you put the tab in the spawn? Yeah, you do. So it's spawn name, then the tab, then the world, colon, coordinates, the new name, unknown NPC. Yeah, of course, because it doesn't take it from the... So you can't do it with any... Alright. Basically, you have to use the server-side stuff for whatever reason. I don't know why. We found the solution anyway, so that's good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to try and implement this into what we've basically been doing the whole time. Okay. So let's just remove some of these. So what we want to do is we want to be able to do a similar thing that we've been doing, which is to do a teleportation command with scenes, right? So yeah, we'll delete. So here's what we're going to do. Do we still have? Still got. Let's use rows. May as well at this point, but rows is way too big. You know, it might be easier to not use rows actually. I want to focus on this seriously, so using rows would be a bit stupid. Okay. Well, we'll use a character called Ankin, right? We'll give him just like a normal model. This is a. Where was the normal one? I'm trying to think what the. This is not good. I'll just use this. Okay. So we'll do server side Ankin, right? So what this does now, it means we've got Ankin here. So basically it means we can use all the clone commands. And what did I say before? Create NPC with clone, delete with NPC command. Okay. So with Ankin we're going to work with the scenes, right? Again, we're going to do A1. I think I haven't done any scenes in this particular world. TP090 3 and then we're going to do what's the name? Ankin, right? Oh, that might not work though. I need to just check what the scene commands are here.
Hello there, here's a...
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't realise that. There's actually something extra in the scene, so I didn't realise. But we'll look at that in a minute. Okay. Oh, sorry, I missed your message, Neutron. You should realise something, Neutron, is that sometimes, especially with these custom NPCs videos, you're probably not going to enjoy them that much. Last one was a bit of an exception because I just was having a laugh with it. But I won't mind if you don't stay for these videos. You may just prefer the NPC, the 114 videos where I'm doing building. They're a bit more entertaining. These videos are really because I'm looking to do something to improve my status as a YouTuber, basically. Okay, so we have rows there, right? And once again, create NPC with clone, delete with NPC command. Okay. So yeah, it won't work basically. So what we need to do, let's just run the scene quickly. They're actually in time, in scene time. There's actually a bit more. Where do you go? Where did you go? Completely lost it. Oh, she's over there. No, you've done pretty well to route through. All right, we need to make the path a little bit clearer here, though. Yeah, you know where. That's a very good question, actually, Neutron. I really enjoy your questions. That's a really great question. Um, I would guess the answer to that, Neutron, is that human isn't. Well, if you ever have a question like that, you need to go to Google. You go to Google and you type in this, right? Because obviously I think like this as well a bit. So if you type in, and by the way, Neutron, most of these people just coming in are just like pointless at this point. Oh no, maybe not. That's a very strange name, though. Okay. You see, if you type this, right, define, and then you do a colon and do that in Google. Yeah, that is a very good question. That's actually a very good question. It looks like, yeah. And the answer is right. Yeah, humanus. Yeah, the answer. I think I know the answer. Basically, human. I put it here. I'm pretty sure that is correct, right? Which is Latin. Let me just check. I'm going to sound like an idiot if I got that wrong. I'm almost certain that it's humanus, but we'll see. Uh-oh. Yeah, no, it is. It is. I was like, oh, I hope I haven't remembered that wrong from Thorncraft, but no, it is correct. Yeah, humanus. Yeah, humanus, humani, humano, humanum, humano, humane. Okay. Yeah. But you see, okay, basically, human comes from the Latin, man and woman come from Old English. So, man and woman are obviously the same root. Yeah, you see, Old English comes from it comes from the Germanic man, like man. Like you see, and you can see the Sanskrit as well, because this is where you get it from. You may know this better. The Sanskrit. The Sanskrit is this, right? That's what you call. I don't know if you know. I don't know if you know Sanskrit. You might know Sanskrit, I suppose. I don't really understand. I don't know this enough. You might know. Do you know Sanskrit? It's one of the very oldest languages. A lot of the Western languages came from Sanskrit, basically. You see, it's called it's the Proto, which means the early Indo-European language. Okay. Yeah, but there we go. Let's move on anyway. Yeah, it's difficult. What you got to understand, Neutron, is that yeah. If you were ever like, the thing is, because you're quite young, you're probably too young to do this. But if you ever were interested in ancient language, right, you would need to study Sanskrit, and then you would understand where a lot of the English words come from. You see, I imagine that you probably know. It's similar to people from Sweden and Norway. Like, they know that they can see where some of their languages, they can sort of see how English is Like if you like, for instance, there's a word which is, yeah, it's hard to explain. But if you look at if you ever do something like this, this is an interesting word, wyvern. There's interesting. It's very complicated. It's to do with what they call the. Basically, it's to do with your mouth movements. If you ever want to find out really why it works, this is probably too complex for you, but I'll tell you anyway. It's something to do with in medical terms. If you're interested in medical terms, it's to do with this. And I'll tell you. Actually, you know what? I don't know. To be honest, it's too complex what I'm saying. If you're ever interested in word originations, look at this. It's a medical term. I don't know. To be honest, I'm not that good at this topic. It's very hard. Very hard topic. But anyway. Okay, let's focus on this anyway. Sorry, I completely got distracted there. But that will. The problem is I get distracted very easily. You have to. I don't know. It's. Anyway, don't worry about that. Let's move on anyway. Before I get too distracted on that. Okay. So we were doing this, right? But you see, sometimes you see how you notice how different people, like you were saying about piano, right? I was watching some classical. It's like basically certain people will be better at being, like mezzo soprano, or certain people will have more vibrato. You already know those terms, right? But they have different singing voice, and it can, well, yeah. Basically, a singing voice will be different depending on how you use your mouth to speak. Oh my god. Anyway, let's What is Ankin doing over there? We don't want this to be like that. So to remember, we had to delete. If we want to delete the character, we'll do this, right? Okay, let's just have somewhere where we can actually spawn this character and like have a. This was actually a fine spot over here. Okay. So what we got here? We're can we stay at 0? Yeah, 0 on the X, and we're going to move from 28 to 37. Okay. So if I should be able to. How was I doing this before? Ankin. Okay, right. Sorry. No, it's add. Can I do an add on it, right? Where do you go? Well, you have to do spawn. I could have sworn I wasn't doing spawn before. There you are. Okay, and Ankin, the reason why this is useful. Where's the scene gone? Oh, you know what it is? I need to save it. Is there a way to like save once you've done modifications? That's what I'm wondering, right? Like, can you update the save? So if I do try and do the same one, will it overwrite or what? Right. Okay. Okay. Let's just clarify we know how to do this properly. Okay, so we have Ankin here. And we're going to try this again. It may not work because I've already used that scene name. I don't know what reset does. Where are you going? Have I just got the coordinates wrong? Oh yeah, I have. There we go. Interesting how she managed to make it up through there. Okay, now she's got her wandering animation. That's cool. No problem. Okay, so that's enough. So what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can overwrite this save. Because I haven't actually explored what happens here, so we're going to do this. Save, overwrite, yes. Now we're going to delete. And we're going to spawn. What is the difference between add and spawn? That's what I'm wondering. Is there a difference? Well, add doesn't do anything. Well, I guess there is nothing to add then, because there's no Okay, so at least that works, right? So I could theoretically, right, spawn multiple of them, and then what happens if we run the scene now? That's funny, they route into different paths. Okay, Neutron. See you later. Why have they gone different paths? It's really weird, that. This one's never going to make it. And this is the thing, right? Is that you have to be very careful with... Is that why they do the weird jumping thing? I think it is, you know. If they can't make it after a certain amount of time, they just jump. I think that's what happens. The weird jumping thing is... What is the weird jumping thing even about? So why do we do this then? Huh. It just does one by one. Okay. Alright, but we're in good shape now. We need to... Okay. we're going to be very, very specific here. So we're at 0, 0, 88, 28. I think the best thing to do is to try to avoid the pathing being irregular, basically. And from here, we're going to move just over to here, which is minus 2, 88, 39. Minus 2, 88, 39. To 88.39. Okay. Okay, now we're going to make sure we update. Save tab 1, server side, overwrite. Good. So we should now be able to run the reset and start. Should be a cleaner one this time. Well, a little bit. Okay. So we can't put the deletion. So we need to have a command block here. So what we're going to do with the command block is we'll do a test for. We need to have 3 commands, right? We have the test for. We have to delete the NPC. Because this is going to. We basically need to. The whole point of this is we're providing the illusion of teleporting. But we can't actually do the teleporting because the teleporting is going to cause huge problems, right? So. We test for Ankin being here. As long as Ankin is here, we'll execute the command. The command will be to delete Ankin. And then we're going to TP the player over, right, to the next location. Then when we get to the next location, we'll be able to do some stuff. Okay, so we'll do test 4 here. And then we've got @e name equals Ankin. And then we do a radius of 3. Yep. Can I do conditional on all these and it will work? It should do, right? But I just don't know if it does. And then here we'll do this, right? So this way we'll remove the clone and it will seem like it teleports, all right? Because I was trying to avoid the whole reason you do it like this rather than just killing the NPCs, because if you kill the NPC it kind of is a bit weird. Deleting is much better because it looks the same as teleporting basically. Right? So we do that, test 4, we do the delete, and then finally we do a TP at the player to some next location. And we'll do this to. We're currently about 0, 0. We'll go to 1,000, 1,000, right? And then when we get on the other side, we can then summon, based on the location of the player, a new one from the clone. And we can also, you see, and the advantage is we'll be able to put the scenes in the clones inside the clone, right? So that way we can be assured the summoning should work properly because the chunk will be loaded because the player is summoning it, right? And those things were an issue before. Okay. I do wonder it happens too fast, this. And of course it doesn't actually work because these don't output properly. They don't output properly, do they? Let me just see. Yeah, it doesn't work like this. I still don't really understand how the command blocks work, but at least I know what the commands are, even if I don't know exactly how they operate. Alright, we'll just put this one here. And we'll do the TP separately. So that can be done. So theoretically, if I put the comparator here, basically it should be a case we just use one repeating each time. You alright, Annie? How you doing? Not that one. So if do always active. Yep. And you should be able to do that. Huh. So why are you not doing that? Are you able to do it? Do I put the name right? That is an interesting one. NPC and really? No, it's just not. For some reason, that's not working. But it will work. There's no doubt about it in my mind that this is going to work. Really? Really? You really can't work? NPC and delete. Wow. I mean, it's not going to do that, is it? It's just not getting a redstone signal for some reason. Why? Why are you not deleting? What on earth? That is the first unusual thing that's happened. Hmm. Huh. Why on earth would that not be working? Oh, I know why. Because it's conditional, I think. No. Let me just check something here. Right, this is fail. This is the time of fail. Why is that not working? The thing is I'm noticing is that the... here's the thing, right? It's not start. What is the thing? Yeah, start A1. Man, that's a fail. Alright, this at least is good. I think it's because this is interfering. Why can't I play the scene? So it does work. Okay. I don't know what's going on there. Do you want to work now? You still don't want to work. Oh! What do you mean I'm not allowed to use this command? What are you talking about? Is it because it's a server one? No, it's not. Just to clarify something. These are still working fine, right? But for some reason this delete command doesn't want to work. At least we're getting some feedback. Okay, that's better. Alright, but whatever you do, it does not want to let you do... The command block hasn't got access to do it. What does that mean? Because I can do it, but the command block can't. Look. You're not allowed to use this command. Okay. So what is the answer to that? Let's find out. Oh yeah, someone's got this exact problem. That's funny. Oh dear. Wonder if this has been fixed. I wonder what more general solution is rather than just custom NPCs. Hmm. The thing is, it wouldn't be the end of the world if I couldn't do this. I don't want it to happen, but at the same time, I could do a /kill, right? Or even just isn't there a way to like remove entities? Although, because I don't need to necessarily do this command here. I'm going to think about the answer to this. I'm not sure there is an answer to it, really. I don't know what the answer to it is, actually. I'm trying to think. Because we've seen already that some of the commands do work. It's only like that doesn't work, but that's fine. Like, there are certain ones that do. And the fact that I'm literally just stumbled upon one which doesn't, I don't think it's indicative of too much. Just thinking like what other commands would be okay. What do we do? Huh, that's interesting. What is it coming out with that for? Weird. Wait a minute. What is this? What is this? Huh. Very interesting stuff. We're going to have to find out what this is next time.